Alpha for week number 6 here in CCL Season 3. This is potentially the last match for both of these two teams inside of split number 1 here for Season 3 as well. Both of these teams looking to get over towards that split 2 in the top divisional side, and it looks like thus far it will be good for them in terms of getting there. However, this is going to be a battle for who is going to basically take that higher seed in technicality over one another. It's the battle for 4th place in the Metropolitan A Division, LU Esports versus Waterloo Gold, and a battle for 4th place inside of Metropolitan, not only Division A, but the fight to get into Split 2. Folks, welcome back. My name is McCormick, alongside myself is Cruz and Spaz, and we've got a best of 5 series to end split number 1. And again, this is going to be the last match on the Alpha stream for the entirety of split 1 for all of the regions. So the next time you're going to see the Alpha stream, every single school, every single team is going to be in split 2.
Yeah, and I mean, these teams are there. They're coming into this. Everybody's stacked. LU Esports, Waterloo Gold, both these teams look really, really good. I think this is going to be probably one of our best series of the night, if I'm being completely honest. Both these teams are coming into this match. They've lost to the same teams and they've beat the same teams. So they're right there. They're both neck and neck. I know records say 7-2 for LU Esports. Waterloo Gold is 6-3. LU just hasn't played up against the likes of Humber Gold yet. So, I mean, if they do, Humber Gold's one of the top teams in the game right now. I imagine it might be a loss for LU Esports. So it's looking like it's going to be close. I'm really looking forward to this match.
Well, folks, if you were not watching the entirety of the stream on Alpha today, LVC Esports was 3-0'd by the side of Concord Maroon. No surprise, number 3 in the power rankings for the side of Concord Maroon, and they're going to be moving on towards that split 2 with a very happy and undefeated record for themselves. The E4 Knights in their first game of split 2 against UTK White was able to 3-0 them. That was a wild series, and namely because of that search and destroy that happened in almost, what was it, like a 1 versus 6, 1 versus 7 from Jumper in the control to almost end around there. So another incredible series here on the Alpha stream. We're going to look to make that one more. Let's introduce ourselves to the rosters real quick. For the side of LU Esports, Obito, Dumi, Kilganon, and 2. It's Kilganon 2, but we're going to refer to him as 2 for the entirety of this matchup. Then for Waterloo Gold, it's Stwix, Maz, Fico, and Borque. And that is the 4-man roster for the side of Waterloo Gold. Looking at our maps, we've got Raid for map number 1, Garrison for the Search and Destroy, Garrison for the Control, Checkmate, Hardpoint, and a Raid, Search and Destroy to round out our best of 5 series. Of course, if we have to go to the distance, to maps number 4 and 5. But speaking game number 1, Raid Hardpoint, we didn't see that inside of our first match at 9, or rather at 8 o'clock earlier today. We saw the Raid Control. Similar play style and Respawn, plays completely different though.
Yeah, and I mean, fingers crossed. Let's hope we get to a game 5 here, man. I want to see one. It's been a little bit since I've seen one here on the Alpha channel. But I mean, Raid Hardpoint, like you said, it's going to play out very similarly to every other Hardpoint. You want to be able to get those 60-second holds on your money hills, which are going to be hills 2, 3, and 5. Or sorry, hills 2, 3, and 4. Hill 5 is a little bit more contested. Hill 1 as well. Looking at this map, both teams sitting right around the same, honestly. LU Esports is 1-1 on the map. They're around 500. Waterloo Gold sitting at just 3-2, so also around 500. This is definitely Waterloo Gold's best hardpoint map, though, because they're coming into this with a hardpoint record right now of 5-5. So definitely not the best. I would definitely give the advantage to LU Esports with an 8-3 hardpoint record going into this one.
Well, you said beforehand that both of these teams have played the exact same teams inside of this division. That's obvious at this stage. However, basically the same results against all the same teams, if I read correctly there too. So both of these two teams looking for supremacy, both basically locked into split 2, but both of these teams want to punch each other in the mouth and knock them down. Game number 1, it's Raid Hardpoint.
Yeah, and both teams here going to be starting off. It's going to be the side of LU Esports in the blue, Waterloo Gold in red. And so far, so good for the side of Waterloo Gold. They're getting a lot of kills off the top here. They have the spawns here for P number 2, exactly where they want them, towards that kitchen side. And now you're going to see LU Esports trying to just get some mid-map control, put some pressure on towards this Waterloo Gold side, who are already on this P1 hill. And it looks like we're going to start to see a flood trying to come through the art room.
Stwix, rest of the team sitting over here, looking pretty over towards the first Raid Hardpoint ring. However, look at middle map. Players number 1 and 3 making that rotation in towards kitchen, looking to maybe find not only middle map control, but also those back kitchen spawns. With 15 seconds left, this is what now we call scrap time here in Call of Duty. If you are new to Call of Duty, essentially the way we talk about it in some of our dialect in Hardpoint is when we say P's 1, P2, P3, stuff like that, that's just the order of the hard points and stuff like that, and that's how we kind of can call out to you and ourselves where the the action is taking place at. So right now, this is the second rotation inside of our first set of rotations, and that is point number 2 inside of the kitchen. So as we push on through, Fico is going to be looking out towards the door. It is going to be the side of Waterloo who do get into the front for the time being. A relatively good pinch play, though, from the side of LU Esports is going to be coming through. Obito finds one, but instantaneously traded out. Fico tries to find the kill there, but it is going to be Doomy. Contest heavy, still in towards the point. However, now it is going to be the side of LU Esports who do hold on for a good portion of time. Play number 6, the last one here for a contestation, and now it's going to be the thought of rotations for the side of Waterloo.
And what's good for LU Esports is they were able to hold on, or they lost a lot of time on that first hill, but they did it because they were trying to make a push through to the back to get these spawns for this second hill, and luckily for them, they were able to do so. They put a lot of pressure on, but they're just giving up these last 15 seconds to try to get a rotation over here. I'm not sure how I like this play, because this is definitely one of the tougher hills to break onto. Gonna get a couple kills towards the bottom side of the mini-map, but again, they just give away basically a free 15 seconds of time. They would have taken the lead, but now it's going to be, they're going to have to try to get a break in here.
Beautiful shot from Obito over the top is going to be able to break them in for at least the time being. Players number 4 and 1 will spawn over towards the AC unit as well. LU Esports, they started off relatively slow, but have started to pick up the heat a little bit, and that's all behind Obito on a 4 spree. As I say that, though, the player does fall up on top of the blue van. Is it going to be Kilganon looking over the top? We'll find 2 with the Krig. Now looking back over towards the right for 3 on a 4 spree. Now the contest comes through the back door. Shots are there. Tags him up, but won't find the kill. LU Esports now with another break opportunity here. Waterloo Gold just aren't able to hold down the point when they're able to break in. Is this something that is going to be able to be easily fixable, or do you think this could be a recurring problem throughout the rest of this game?
I mean, it can be fixable. It just, right now, it seems like LU Esports is trying to play these hills very break heavy at the moment. Not going to give up these last 13 seconds, thank God. They could be up to around a 40-point lead right now after losing that time on that first hill. But I definitely think that Waterloo Gold can start to get a good hold here. It's going to start with this basketball hill. They have all the positions locked down that you want to see. You got player number 6 watching towards that jungle. Player number 5 sitting inside kitchen. He gets the first kill. It's really just going to be up to Bork here. He picks up one on the back as well. So it's just going to be player number 2 who's left here now for the side of LU Esports. All the players for Waterloo Gold are going to continue to spawn up close, and this should be a good hold. It's already better than the last.
You realize for the first 15 to 20 seconds right there, they didn't send anybody into the kitchen. They were just trying to make sure they could hold down the entirety of those back spawns, and it works out in space for them, at least for the first 25 seconds. Now here's where it gets scary, though. Through the front door, here comes the side of LU. They've got 1, they've got 2. Pinstripe kill feed as it goes. 3 in a row from Obito once again, and this is a recurring theme as well inside of the series. We've seen Obito on multiple streaks multiple times throughout just game number 1 alone, and it's very early on still. Still a lot of time for both of these two teams to acquire a lot of points and, of course, go on to win the game. But if we're looking on board with Kilganon right now, he's got one over towards top money. The Diamante shots will be enough to get it done. Bork will take him down finally, though. LU Esports, they go ahead, break in with about 35 seconds left. Hold all the time that goes ahead and remains afterwards. Waterloo Gold now looking for the rotations. They've got it early on. However, LU's been one of those teams that has been, I guess, pronounced to breaking in towards these points almost every single time when Waterloo has the rotations.
Yeah, it seems like Waterloo is out-rotating LU Esports quite heavily right now, but LU Esports is just doing, again, just a great job of just pushing on and breaking into these hills every single time. It's just going to be Twix inside the hill now. Can't pick up the second on Nadumi. I think even more so, though, the powerful position that you really want to see your players sit in, you need to send an AR towards that raid statue and to have him looking over mid, and that's exactly where we're about to see Kilganon go to right now, as he's going to be the player here for the side of LU Esports, watching over that mid statue, and he's just trying to make sure that they're able to hold on to these bottom side of the mini-map spawns, just so that they can get the rotation back over towards this P2. This is the hill that we saw Waterloo Gold get the most amount of time off of on that first set of rotations, and arguably it is the most contest-heavy hill. So far, Waterloo's doing a great job on these contested hills, but on the hills where they need to lock down the time, it's been LU Esports getting basically the back 40 every single time, it feels like.
Breaks, contests, holds. Both of these teams have been proficient so far in both of these categories. Now over towards the water steps, it is going to be K2 who finds the first kill. Player number 5 in money looking to try and fly through. That's going to be Twix up top and top money, or excuse me, top art. As the shots come through, it's not going to be much. The water van is not going to be contested. Doomy over the top is going to be able to find shots with the Krig, and this isn't a perfect opportunity to talk about the meta change that we've had here inside of Black Ops Cold War. If you've been unfamiliar or haven't been on Twitter, right now the 2 guns that are being used inside of this game are going to be the AK-74U and the Krig 6. The M4 recently GA'd out by the CDL challengers and pro teams alike, and it's going to change for a huge shakeup in the meta because of how powerful the Krig can be at long range. And the AK-74U, although it can beam across the map, them removing the compensator portion of this gun and removing the barrel attachment is going to be huge because now you no longer get that added support for the recoil control on the weapons. So a lot of interesting plays they're going to shake up. Personally, not a fan of this meta as it stands. Hopefully it's not going to last for too long and we get a third gun back in the rotation.
Yeah, absolutely. Just talking a little bit onto the game right now, though, it's going to be Kilganon making a big flank play on through the back. He just went and hit inside the back of basketball, and he was able to flip these spawns out. Now Waterloo Gold are going to have to be able to break in from the front. We'll see if they're able to do it here. Just taking some shots down range. It's going to be Bork once again, but not really able to find anything out of it. There's going to be the 3 players from LU Esports. They're spawning up so close, pushing on in, getting the pressure here, but once again, just Waterloo from the front has been too strong, and they're going to be able to break on in and hold on to the remainder of this time. I would imagine we start to see a rotation coming in from LU Esports soon.
And this was the exact opposite of what we saw last time. Kitchen was held down by the side of LU. Water Gold tried to push in, but just could not get it done. They had to settle for the rotations with scrap time in their favor. This time, no. Look at where they're going to be spawning. All the way back over towards P2. This is going to be a foot race over towards the next hill, but only for one team, because Waterloo is already set up at next. They're going to get at least 15 to 20 seconds of good time here with the players that are playing through middle map from LU, because Waterloo is so far across the map that they're not even going to have the ability, A, to get that first kill, B, get to the point for a contest, or C, potentially even find that first wave of kills that they're going to need to get towards the point. The trades will come through from both sides. Back and forth as they go. Waterloo still in control, at least of the front side. However, inside of the hill, it's LU Esports. Look at the spawns, though. 1 and 2 spawn over towards the south side of the map, back over towards P1. Still, though, it's been about 25 seconds of time. The kills on the front still coming through. 5 and 8 need to make a move here.
Yeah, it's been a great hold so far for LU Esports. They've done a great job of just holding on to the spawns, getting those bottom lower spawns, but it's going to be Obito able to grab 2 inside the hill, and that's going to give the last 20 seconds to the side of LU Esports. Nobody from the side of Waterloo Gold is going to contest again. They're going to be happy with being able to contest that time for just a little bit, and then now pushing out and trying to get another strong setup over towards this basketball hill. We saw them able to do it last time, but it's Kilgadon once again making the big flank play through and getting into the back. Whether this is going to impact the spawns heavily or not depends on if he gets a couple more kills here, but it's not going to be the case. So Waterloo Gold should be able to hold on strong for at least another 10 seconds.
Players number 1 and 3 making the rotation to try and either find the flank spawns and or get middle map control through Kitchen and in towards Money. Kilganon will find 2 once again. It seems like every single time. If it's not the rest of the players from LU, it's Kilganon finding 2 or 3 in a row, multiple at a time. Stays alive and towards the point, will eventually find his demise. K2 up the top, now looking to trade out his teammate, and that's exactly what will happen. Now, a 1 versus 2 towards the front of the hill. Maz pushes in. 74U shots aren't there. K2 goes huge. If it's not Kilganon 1, it's Kilganon 2. They're both going back to back. It's baby. Oh, it's go showtime here on Raid. Hard point. Basketball court being held down. 15 seconds of time should be all there. Now they just got to get these rotations back to middle map. 20 seconds should get them the win if they hold down the rest of the scrap time.
Absolutely. And I mean, this is time that Waterloo Gold can't really afford to give up right now. They're going to need a perfect hold here on this P5 hill. It's going to be Maz set up here, just watching over the top. But again, it's Kilgadon getting away with his life. We'll see if he chooses a challenge here. Doobie actually going to come in from the back, give him his help. So we'll see if they're able to break on in from the front. But this looks so far so good for Waterloo Gold. This looks like a very strong setup. We'll see if they're able to get the kills.
Stuff on the side of LU. They've got the player over towards water steps and back from the pillars as well. They've gotten inside. 20 seconds remain for the side of LU. Waterloo Gold still an opportunity to break back in towards the point, but it's going to be Obito. They're finding 1, not able to find the second. Traded out as Maz finds the kill. So now it's the push back, but they've got to go. 9 seconds is all that remains for the side of Waterloo to get in, and they've got 3 down and the contestation. They've got control of the hill. LU Esports now spawning all the way out towards Kitchen. They've read the spawns correctly. Can they go ahead and find themselves set up for the next hill? Player number 7 needs to be careful, though. Fico over towards the top is going to find himself and his demise. Still a lot of time for LU to win off of this point if they can get in, find the last 7 seconds, but no, it's going to be Bourquet there finding the kill. Gannon is there as well to find another trade, so back and forth as they go. LU Esports do have the rotations. They've got to get there instantaneously. Nobody home for the side of Waterloo Gold. Game number 1. LU Esports take it 250 to 219, and if that's any indication on how this series is going to go, is cruising, we are in for a delectable treat here on a Tuesday night.
We are definitely in for something special. Like we said going into that one, LU did look like they had a little bit better of a hard point record, so not fully a surprise there, but oh my god, Waterloo Gold, you were absolutely capable of winning that game, just that first set of rotation. You guys just weren't able to hold on to your hills. Unfortunate for them, just LU Esports too strong, pushing in, breaking in through the back. If it, like you said, if it wasn't Kilganon, it was Kilganon too, and he was absolutely on fire this whole game. Man, great first match out of these two teams, man.
I guess
Okay, I was like, I can't hear
muted
you.
it. Anyways, yeah, no, but I mean, that's why we love Raid Hardpoint so much, right? Because it always comes down to that last P1, those P5 pushes at the very end of the game where teams are just trading back and forth in a desperate attempt to get as much time as humanly possible. And that really is just one of those things to where you say, okay, well, there's a reason that map came back, or that raid came back inside of Black Ops Cold War. You know, there were some good maps, and there are some really good maps in this game that I do enjoy commentating over and just playing in whole. But when you talk about Raid, a classic map that still plays extremely well, even in today's standards, with how map mindset when creating them is so completely different from back, what is it now, 79, 10 years ago when Raid was first introduced into the game.
Black Ops 2, so well.
It's a beauty. It's still a work of art even to
It's
this
go
day, and it's
chef's kiss, eh? It's gotta be one of the best maps in Call of Duty history, and you get to see it time and time again here in Cold War as to why. I mean, it's got to say something that we're 3 generations in from the last Black Ops, from when this game first came out in Black Ops, and this map is still so good. Looking forward, though, we are going to be heading towards a Garrison Search and Destroy for our second map. Kind of just give everybody an idea on how much these two teams have played this map. Both teams only want to know on the map, so not a lot of reps here for either team. And both teams coming in with very similar records here in Search and Destroy. LU Esports and an overall record of 6-3. Waterloo Goldson and an overall record of 7-3. So both have been very, very good at Search. They found some good time there. I mean, if we're just really looking at it right now, it's going to be Twix again coming into this with a really, really good Search and Destroy KD for the side of Waterloo Gold with a 1.55. And then on the side of LU Esports, who else other than Kilgadon 2 coming in with a 1.81 KD. So, I mean, like I said, both these teams have found very good success in Search.
well, Garrison S&D, one of those maps to where it plays very unison pretty much every single map that you watch. There's either a couple of small unorthodox hits that you can make, whether it's a 4-man push up through green out to satellite, and even then that's a tough gunfight to win with even 4 people there if they have 2 players there. Middle map control is huge, but again, it all comes down to these first bloods more so on Garrison than really any other map. Obviously, first bloods are huge in S&D no matter where you are going, no matter what map you're playing on. However, when you do talk about Garrison specifically, it's a very open map, but a very secluded map where it only has one large lane down middle map and a couple of sub lanes that go off either towards the A or the B site, where you have the vent and you have the catwalk out towards the satellite side. So when you're talking about this map as a whole, it's big. When you're talking about how it's played, it's pretty small. We're gonna have to see both of these two teams really duke it out for those first bloods, and getting those aggressive SMGs up and towards that initial spawn side is going to be the biggest thing. And obviously those ARs over the top might be big too. And who knows, we might see a 4-time sight come out on one of the AR players as well to act as the sniper to kind of pick off the rounds here and there. So it's always an opportunity. It's always something that's in the backhand of our books.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, this map, huge map, very one-sided though. You're going to see most teams just trying to push towards that vent side bomb. Defense is very heavy here, but in CCL even more so than I think even the defensive side of things. I've seen a lot of teams pushing this site and winning a lot more offenses than defenses. So maybe teams might be starting to get that defense figured out a little bit more so now towards the amateur side of thing and towards the college community. But I mean, when you're looking at this bomb site again, it's just going to be so many B hits over and over again. I doubt we'll see very many hits out towards that green.
It's hard to say too, because like you don't know how these teams are going to play. You don't know if they want to get more aggressive and get in your face of the opponents. But I do agree that we're not really going to see too much in the way of green pushes out towards satellite. It's the same way when you're playing hard point or control in this map, where you're not going to send everybody out that same door because there's so many long range AR sites that you can just hold down, especially with the Krig now that does not move when you're. It's like the ICR almost. You know, the Krig and the ICR are very different weapons, but same in the terms of recoil. So when we're talking about this, how this map is going to play out, I do think you are correct there. We are going to see a lot of those green pushes for the sheer fact of how difficult it is. But middle map, if they can't get anything going, maybe that's the only thing that they might be able to resort to at a certain point within the series. So, folks, it looks like we're going to be loading into Garrison S&D here. LU Esports up 1-0 over the side of Waterloo Gold. And the biggest storyline here is that the side of Waterloo Gold needs to go ahead and not only win the search and destroy round number 1 to give themselves a little bit of momentum, but they need to win this game to tie things up at 1-1. And that would, I guess, put us at the first at least 4-game series of the day here on the Alpha channel so far. It was a hot 3-0 earlier on. It was another 3-0 after that fact. We're hoping this one's going to bring us at least a little bit of the same joy and happiness that we got out of the S&D instead of that last best of 5 series, because the E4 Knights and UTK White, that was one to kind of save in the back pocket for later and say, I want to go back and watch that one more time.
Yeah, I'm hoping this S&D comes out quite similar to that one, and I'm hoping that we go to game 5 here. I absolutely think that this is a map that Waterloo Gold are going to need to win, though. Their respawns just don't look the same as the side of LU Esports, so to be able to steal an S&D off of them and take it their way will be huge. It's going to be the side of Waterloo Gold on offense first here, pushing up. Once again, LU Esports going to be in the blue, Waterloo Gold in the white, but already a kill going the side of Waterloo, quickly traded out. So it's going to be a 3-3 split in the bomb moving towards B.
Maz up on top. Bridge control for the side of Waterloo Gold for the time being. They've got bomb in hand, and this is going to be a 3 versus 3. If they can get this over towards that, it'll be huge, but Maz jumps down and finds the first kill onto K2, so that will allow the side of Waterloo maybe to push up the map just a tad bit more. 3 versus 2 scenario, Doomy out towards the S&D site over by A on the satellite, the part that we were talking about. It's probably not going to see a lot of action from the offensive team. Down below in the vents, though, it's going to be a sneaky little oh boy. So Waterloo Gold now look to push on the offensive side.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to see too many pushes up towards that vent room, up towards that green room, like you said. But I mean, you still got to respect it. Bork going to push down into the vent, able to find one, so it's just going to leave Doomy by himself here now. 1 versus 3 situation. They know where he is. That's a tough situation to win. Waterloo Gold starting it off hot here. They need to win this map up 1-0.
I mean, that's a good scenario for a 1 versus 3 clutch right there, too, if you are Doomy, because you see the player on the staircase. If you are able to take him off bridge control, that obviously gives you an easier 1 versus 2, which is much more manageable. However, with the player that was playing in towards the office area by lights, even though he does get those long-range shots, if you do get that initial kill, you aren't as likely to push out, and you might wrap back a little bit more, especially with that nade being there. So, I mean, it's just a great play from the side of Waterloo Gold, being able to go ahead and find that first blood and be able to push up on through a little bit after the fact, too. So, as we are looking on towards this next round, it is going to be LU Esports now trying their hand at an offensive round. K2 down below over towards the right side, looking for that first blood by either Square or Lights. Both teams playing very passive thus far.
Yeah, and I mean, we've seen K2 with an insane KD coming into this one at a 1.8. He's going to need to keep up here. Able to find the first blood. That's a great pick from the side of LU Esports. It's exactly what you need to do on offense to be able to open up this B bomb site, as he's able to get the player who was sitting outside square. Now, really the only player here for the side of Waterloo is going to be Bork. He's just watching inside of lights at the moment, and it's going to be Kilganon and the rest of LU Esports just trying to make their way up middle map, seeing if they can spot anybody out on these back boxes. Not going to spot anything at the moment, so I would imagine we're going to get to see the bomb moved up quite shortly, and a bomb plant possibly.
Well, that's a great stop there for the line of defense. That is the side of Waterloo Gold. They get that first blood here and trade things out, rather the second kill in the round and trade things out. So 3 versus 3, but to your point, it is going to be the bomb going down here over towards B. They should be able to escape with their lives, but Fico is going to be the one to look for here with that Krig in hand, looking for a potential push there, but K2 gets the best of him. The gun blocks the line of sight. Now Bork down below, looking for K2 over in the corner, just like that. Doomy's found another kill. Obito there with the shots will find the last kill. LU Esports around that was a little bit tricky for them early on, where they weren't able to find exactly the footing that they wanted, get the bomb down, win all 3 of the gunfights after the fact, and they take their first round on the board.
And they knew that they absolutely needed to pick up that round there. You don't want to go down 0-2, especially on Garrison, when it's, again, it can be very defensively heavy. But like I said before going into this one, it seems like College COD is a little bit the opposite of the pro scene, as we see a lot more offenses, one at least I have on this map, which is a little bit different than what we see in the pro community. But again, just, you know, it's a different scene, different play strategies, and I mean, we're going to get to see a lot of offensive win probably coming through here if teams are able to get those early picks in the rounds. Waterloo Gold, once again, going to be taking this bomb towards the B bomb site. Where else would you go with it on this map? It's just Twix watching over the middle of the map, trying to see if he can spot any of these players out towards this back lights area. Really can't find anything. A very strong defensive setup, though, for LU Esports. They've got everything watched. You have a player inside bench. You have a player sitting very close on mid. Not a very often spot that you see player number 5 is sitting. So he might be able to catch Maz on a cross here.
If you're on offense, you're a little bit scared, too, because you haven't seen a single player the entire round from the side of LU. Pushing up now, Maz with the Krig, looking over towards lights. Kilgan in 2. Middle map. 74U looking for a push out now over towards the top bridge. Semtex is going to go over. Kilganon is now going to be able to say, okay, there's a couple of players over towards the top bridge. Now I've got the first blood. Hops down below the tank. Hops back up once again. I love the play there, but Fico wisely reads the challenge. And Obito, though, is able to go ahead and find a kill under towards the vent side. So now 3 versus 2. LU Esports, they weren't able to go ahead and find round number 1, but it's been one quick round in a row now. About to make it a second unless Jay Twix can go ahead and find himself the magical 1 versus 3. Doing around the corner. Oh, goodness gracious. JS Twigs is going to be able to find that kill there, but with 10 seconds left, he's not only going to find the bomb and the plant, but also the other 2 players, and look how they wisely just separate themselves so far away. Players number 7 and 8 now all the way across the map from one another, not giving Twix an ability to go ahead and clutch that round by killing either of the 2 of them or getting that bomb down. Clinical search and destroy stuff just shows the savvy from both of these 2 teams.
Yeah, I mean, great play once again from the 2 players on the side of LU. You know he has no time to get that bomb down, so you're just both going to back up, play your lives, and just get far away from each other that he can't 2-piece you guys if he does decide to take a gunfight. But, I mean, great defensive round, like I said, at LU Esports. Doomy was playing that little spot underneath mid, and, I mean, it's not a spot you see players play very often. Looks like from the side of Waterloo Esports, we're going to get another more of a traditional hold of the defense. Player going back square, 1 player inside vents, and you have the player all the way in the back on the tanks, kind of just watching, overseeing if he can spot anything out. And then, of course, you're going to have Fico over towards that A site, but looks like LU Esports, once again, just a very slow, methodical offense going towards this B site, trying to see if they can spot anything out. It's going to be Kilganon, starting off 0-2 in this match, hasn't had the greatest match so far. So shots going down range. It sounded like Kilganon, too, was trying to get aggressive. He's found a couple first bloods here in this game already. We'll see if we can find another one here in this round.
I mean, very similar defensive play from the side of Waterloo Gold here, with at least the setup that they have, but look at player number 3 who gets actually taken down over towards the top green. That allows them an avenue to push out over towards the A-bomb site if they want to. However, it is going to be shots over the top now for the side of LU Esports that are going to force the side of Waterloo Gold back even further into their spawn, and this gives them the halfway map control. They've got top bridge, they've got the bomb, but here it is going to be Maz down below. The Semtex onto the bomb too is going to stop anybody from immediately challenging back down below. Maz on the second kill here instead of the round. Makes it a lot easier for the side of Waterloo, a lot harder for LU Esports. They grab the bomb, last alive, now going to be in a 1 versus 3. Kilganon 2, looks for 1, finds the first kill. Both players from the side of Waterloo playing very spread out. They know the bomb is down, can wait for the pickup. They hear the noise up top and top green. Shots raining down from above. That's a round win. 2-2 we go in the search and destroy.
So now we've seen 2 offenses and 2 very strong defenses, teams making these adjustments. And you know what? That's what Search and Destroy is all about. You got to be able to make these mid-game, mid-round adjustments that are going to be able to help your team win the round. Maz got a huge 2-piece here on the to pick that up. I mean, I feel like that's a very general place where you're going to see players play. So very surprising not to see either player on the side of LU Esports really check that bomb site. I think the second player was more so just trying to get the bomb, get away with his life. But nonetheless, we're going to be tied up at 2-2 here as we see Waterloo Gold start to head off on another offense here. And Maz, with the bomb in hand, will be carrying it up towards this B bomb site once again here. And it looks like we might be getting a little bit of a faster push in. As I say that, everybody's going to stop dead on the staircase and just start to look over top of green and try to find a pick again.
No vent control this time, however. Kilganon 2 pushes up, finds the kill on the Maz, but Twix is there for the trade. So 3 versus 3 once again. This is the exact same type of thing that we've been seeing every single round. No matter what, after that first blood goes through, it's another kill that comes immediately after the fact, and then it's just stagnant for the next 30-45 seconds. And that's kind of what Garrison is. It's a stagnant map. Both teams push very slowly up the map. Neither team wants to get picked off because one kill can lead to the entirety of map control for your team. All it takes is one person like Kilganon here falling over towards lights, and then they've got the entirety of B in their control. Players number 8 and 6, both back playing over towards Cobble, just waiting to make a push out here, especially if a player tries to rotate over towards A. But Kilganon should be able to find one over towards the right here, sees the player there, so now player number 8 can hop out over from there, from the cobblestone side, to look back over towards middle map. The 74Us, though, are going to be getting aggressive. Player with the bomb now, and player number 1 needs to get this bomb down instead of playing extremely aggressive here. It's a bit reckless, could get him caught off guard. However, he will be able to get the bomb down, so 45 seconds will be added towards the clock. Waterloo Gold have the bomb down. LU Esports need to make the rotation back and get that at least retake started.
Yeah, and what they decide to do there is back off, but I mean, definitely not the best case scenario, but Obito might have just found a timing here. Gets behind the player who's top floating. He's able to grab one, but his teammate in Bork gonna actually find one as well, so it's actually gonna leave Obito by himself now. See if he can find anything. Twix up top drops the player as well, so great round there out of Waterloo Gold again, able to pick up another offensive win here. And I mean, search and destroy, man. It's all moves and counter moves before Mill.
It's a game of chess. Indeed. Every single move, your team can read that, but the entirety of the opposition can go ahead and find every single mistake that you make and capitalize upon it, taking each pawn off the map until eventually the king is taken off the court and you find yourself with a round win. Thus far here in this round, though, offense for LU Esports. They've lost 2 in a row. They were up 2-1, now down 3-2. Waterloo Gold, they've done a great job on the defensive side and the offensive side, but with Doomy getting that first blood, that's offensive side control the map. However, a trade back and forth now as the pinstripe is. Bork there, not going to be able to get killed, but Kilganon, he doesn't care. He wants to push up, but there's his duo. Kilganon 2, K2, doesn't matter. LU Esports, very fast round here on Garrison. They tie things up at 3 apiece, and this has seemed like a very slow S&D for it to only be at 3-3.
Yeah, I mean, it's been very long rounds because both teams have been waiting basically as long as they can to get that bomb down. That's the first fast, aggressive round that we've really seen out of either team so far. And it was LU Esports, Kilganon, and Kilganon 2 once again, just putting their pressure on the map, making their status shown here. Again, it's going to be a 3-3 tie up as we head in towards round number 4. And I mean, the bomb is going towards this A site quite quickly. So possibly going to be able to see a different hit coming out of the side of Waterloo Gold here. But looks like it's going to get slowed down at the nick of time by the side of LU Esports. And I mean, this is a very weird spot to see the player with the bomb sitting.
Yeah. Interesting enough. I do agree with your sentiment there. I don't know why the player with the bomb is sitting up over towards top tank. Usually you're going to allow that to be with your SMG players who want to get aggressive, and there it is. That's where the bomb is going to get stuck now. And to your point exactly, why put the bomb in a very, very difficult position to go ahead and back and get? Now, if you're the side of Waterloo Gold, you have to get all the way up to top tank, escape a player that might be shooting from top green, get back down either towards A or B, all within 40 seconds of time without having your teammates get killed. And this is a very tricky spot to be in. Let's look at K2 on the map right now. Kilganon need to make a play over towards the vent side. Sneaky boy as he is, the snake slides through the vents and is going to be able to get behind the opposition. Bork there. Fico up top. I don't think he saw him actually towards the tank, but he's going to be able to get back through the spawn here. K2 playing his life very, very, very carefully. Over towards it is going to be Doomy with a one-on-one gunfight. Bork is there. Almost gets taken down. However, we're back and forth. 12 seconds left. The bomb's got to get planted. The bomb's got to either go towards A or B. It's still at B. They've either got to find the kills or find the both. Actually, all the players are going to run into each other here unless Twix is able to get on the bomb. He gets there, but I don't think he got it in time. Kilganon is there, making the flank around. The bomb actually does go down, but it won't matter. That's just more points for K2 here. 10-4 on a 4 spree here in the search and destroy. LU Esports, after losing 2, they take 2, 4-3 here as we go in the search and destroy.
And what did we say about K2 coming into this game? 1.81 S&D KD, putting the team on his back in this mode. It's absolutely been his strongest mode here in the CCL, and we're starting to see the reason why. Once again, you said 10-4. I mean, he's just been on another level in this game. He's finding first bloods galore. He's always making the right plays, sneaking through the vents, doing whatever he needs to do right now to help out his team in LU Esports try to win this game. They are up 4-3 now. They would love to be up 5-3 and be able to take a little bit of a stranglehold here on the search and destroy, maybe get to a game point here. We'll just have to see if they're able to do it. Streaks would definitely help if he's able to get them, and he's getting a very fast, aggressive push up here, but Twix going to shut him down.
I love the double push there. Player falls on the opportunity for a trade. Kilganon trades out K2, so pushing back towards the site. They have bomb in hand as well. Player number 7 up on your screen, looking around the corner. Bork is there. They know that the player in lights is going to be trying to find this kill, and it's a very tough gunfight to win if you are Kilganon here, because if you do challenge that, not only are you facing 2 players, but inside of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, the player that is holding the angle usually is going to be favored a bit more in a lot of the gunfights. So, as it is going to be Fico now in a 1 versus 2 over towards green, he's going to, oh crap, they're coming to push me right now. He's just going to play his life here, back off just a tad. They think he's going to be playing the satellite, but all 3 players from the side of LU Esports are up top in top green, but they jump down. Now rotation back over towards B. I love the play here. They're going to be able to make this rotation very, very quickly as well and get this bomb down because of the fact that they are allowed the side of Waterloo to rotate over towards A, fake the push over towards B, somehow stays alive. Kilganon now, an opportunity to get this bomb done. You got to just go. I mean, I get you don't know anybody's inside of vents, but if you're going to win this round, you've got to have more time to play with. You can't
with the bomb.
The player in the back.
Oh my god, I was wondering the exact same thing as you. Where are you going with the bomb there? I loved that round so much out of LU Esports until they didn't put the bomb down. Kilgadon at the very start of that round spotted the 2 players out towards the back of the tanks here. What he decides to then do is make the play call. Hey guys, guess what? All the players are here except for one. Let's make the rotation over towards that A site. They don't do it. They were a little scared to push out. Rightfully so. That's a very hard gunfight to win, even with 2 players versus 1 towards that green site. Then they decide to make that rotation back over towards B, but they don't put the bomb down. You have a wide open site, man. It's just unfortunate. You hate to see it. Fortunately, we do have the pleasure of knowing where all these players are with Podcaster. Maybe they didn't. They had no idea where one of the players was. They were a little bit worried about getting that bomb down. But, I mean, you won't win the round unless you put the bomb down. So what's the hurt of trying? Heading into round number 9 here. It's going to be Waterloo Gold once again back on offense. I believe they've been pretty split on their offenses so far. I think they're 2 for 2 or 2 and 2 on it right now. 2 wins, 2 losses. And that would be the same for both sides here. Bomb again, trying to make its way towards this B side. It's just Maz underneath the bottom of mid, just trying to watch over middle of the map, seeing if he can spot any of these players out. I believe that's Kilgadon 2 once again in the vents. If you don't know where that player is, check the vents because I guarantee you he's there, especially on defense.
In the vent, little rat spot, playing cheeky here on Garrison Search and Destroy. 4-4 as we go. We're tied up here on Garrison, looking for the first blood. It is going to be Kilganon 2 who finds the first one. Over towards Bork is not going to be able to find the second kill. So trades here in. Somehow Twix wins the gunfight from under the vent and now makes it a 3 versus 2 for Waterloo Gold. After a gifted round win for the side of LU Esports, they go ahead. They find the kill, but now it's going to be Kilganon who finds 2 and escapes with his life. Up towards the top, a counterpart once again. The side of LU Esports somehow, some way walk away with a round win here, and like that should technically be the end of the game if you get that bomb down. Obviously we don't know how the round is going to play out after the fact, but seemingly you did gift the round away to the side of Waterloo Gold to tie things up at 4-4. If this goes 5-5 round 11 and you get put on an unfortunate side, LU Esports might be looking back and banging the heads in the back. Like they might just be slamming their heads in the wall at this point. Like my monitor might be broken.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're Waterloo if you're LU and you lose this game, you are going to look back at that 8th round and you're going to be so angry. Once again, though, it's going to be LU Esports trying to move this bomb up towards the middle of the map, trying to head in towards that B site. But it's going to be 3 players here for Waterloo. 1 player in that back square area, 1 in lights, and 1 sitting on the back tank. This is your very basic setup. They've almost done the same setup every single defensive round. If you're LU Esports, at some point, you're going to have to recognize where these players have been playing every round and just try to make the most out of it. Maybe get aggressive in the middle of the map here. Do something a little bit different because this defensive setup has shut you down quite significantly over and over again here. It's going to be Kilgadon 2 trying to just find that pick middle of the map, but it's going to actually be Doomy. He's able to pick up 1, and now the bomb possibly able to push up towards this B side. It's wide open right now if they want to go for it.
Well, we've seen this scenario before. Doomy gets the first kill, the B-bomb site's wide open, and what happens? We don't push up because we don't want to get picked. Bork on the back, Maz over towards Cobble, and a player that's in top green now rotates all the way back towards Cobble once again. Kilganon escapes with his life. Oh, tries to get the shots back on the Twix. I'm glad that he tried to play his life here instead of overchalling. Now, a 1 versus 4 to go ahead and end it. LU Esports, though, they close it out 6-4. Waterloo Gold somehow were able to almost win that last round, and it all got shut down in their face. LU Esports, a good search and destroy, not a great one. Take it on Garrison. Scrappy as it may seem, a battle of attrition. They're up 2-0 in the series.
Definitely a messy FND at the end of it all, but LU Esports was able to pull it off. I don't quite know how, but Waterloo definitely threw a couple of those rounds away. LU Esports, messy search and destroy, but at the end of the day, you got the job done, and now you got a 2-0 series lead, and they're looking to close it out here on the Garrison. It should definitely be a good one. If anything, like this series has been great. 250, 219 in the hard point, 6-4 in the Garrison. I mean, I'm loving it, Corn.
It's been close. Again, scrappy is the key word that we have to use here. The hard point was fun. The hard point was fun as hell. I mean, that was just a great match to sit there and, sit back, watch over. A lot of breaks, a lot of rotations, a lot of holds from both of these two teams. They both look really good in that raid hard point. It was just the side of LU Esports that looked just a tad bit better as the game kept progressing on. Garrison S&D was the same thing. Waterloo had opportunities to capitalize upon, and the same thing for LU Esports. Again, just some of the rounds where they had the advantage just throw their way, and then it came back to the same thing. So it's like, Garrison control, though, back on the same map. It's going to play relatively the same way. in terms of how teams might want to be a little bit more passive on the defensive side, but offense has an opportunity to really get aggressive and kind of create the map in their own way. Defense is going to be the easier side here on Garrison for control. However, getting in towards top green and maybe finding those first 2 bloods is going to be a little bit more forgiving here on control, obviously, since there's a respawn factor into it. However, you can also allocate the defensive side in a lot of different ways too, to where it might be a 3 versus 1 when you spawn up close to the green side and hop out over towards satellite. So again, offense has a lot of ways that they can tailor the map towards them. It's just about not getting picked off when you're making those pushes and always trying to get that first blood when you're pushing on the defensive, or excuse me, on the offensive side.
Yeah, offense is definitely possible to win on this map. Not the easiest though by any means. It's really comes down to the player on the side of the defensive sitting towards that back satellite. If they're able to go huge every single time, it's going to be almost impossible to push out towards that top green. It really comes down to after you get that first point on the towards the vents, if you're able to grab that point and then push on through, it really comes down to just pushing through the back, getting in towards the back cobble, going through arches, finding your picks there as opposed to going through top green. I feel like for the most part that's what I've seen, because because on offense, if you get put in that spawn trap towards the back, it is night and day. You can get closed out of a round very, very quickly. So these two teams, they got to be ready for that. I think one thing going into this map that we kind of should talk about, LU Esports yet to play Garrison Control yet. So maybe just a map veto coming in from them. They want to play it a little bit before the second half of the season starts off. But on the other side, you got Waterloo Gold, who's 1-0 on it, or sorry, 1-1 on it. So definitely have a couple more reps, but a 500 win percentage isn't the best.
Well, not even that. I mean, before the series even started, we were sitting here talking back and forth, and you were mentioning how both of these teams are so closely contested when it comes to the teams that they've played, how close they've played each individual team, and it shows here in the series thus far. Although the does have a 2-0 lead right now, a 30-point hardpoint victory is nothing to just be like, oh yeah, they absolutely blew them out of the water. A 6-4 S&D win that could have very easily went to a round 11. Also one of those things where it's not an easy blowout for LU Esports any means. I mean, this team has had to fight tooth and nail every single map thus far in this series to even have the upper hand advantage of Waterloo Gold. Folks, if you don't know what's on the line right now inside of this series, both of these teams are not only fighting for 4th place inside of Division A, here inside of split number 1 for the what division is this? You know, it's
Metropolitan.
Yeah, Metropolitan. There we go. Yeah, Metropolitan A. So both of these teams are fighting for 4th place inside of this. Getting into split 2 is going to be the main objective of these teams. They've basically locked themselves in here, and at the end of this week here, and basically at the end of this series, split 2 will begin for every single region inside of season 3 of the CCL. 3 regions have already started. The rest of the 5 that have the 24 team divisions are going to be in split 2 after this. We saw the E4 Knights take down the side of UTK White in their first series of split number 2. They're 1-0 now. LU Esports looking to go ahead and close out this series in the 3-0 fashion over the side of Waterloo Gold with an easy 4 down right off the rip and an extra one to add a little bit of sauce and sprinkles on top.
Oh my god, and they already have players pushed all the way up into cobble, so Waterloo is basically going to have to just chalk B at this point. That is absolutely insane. You don't see a break off like that on the side of offense very often here. Interesting though, Maz is in the back. He has a chance to make a little bit of a play here on the side of LU Esports. If he just waits for all these players to come off of spawn and then try to get in behind them, but he might get caught out here by player number 1. Not going to be the case. He's going to get the timing to be behind him, but shoots, and now his position has been given away here. So he's just going to back up and try to make the play. Oh, but the little flank up from underneath. Finally able to find one after all that dodging and dancing around. He's able to pick up one in the middle of the map. But really, all LU Esports needs to do right now is just clear out the middle of the map like they've done. And now they just got to push over towards this A site. No players from Waterloo Gold are even close towards it yet, but nobody on the side of LU Esports has really tried to make a push over towards it.
Jumping in. Craig up close. Oh, there's Kogan in number 1 there after K2 finds the kill. So both of the players on the side of LU Esports finding kills, and back and forth they go once again. But LU Esports, they just continue to break down the side of Waterloo Gold. All it's going to be up to is the lonely number 7. That's going to be Maz looking for the last couple of kills. Diamante shots out over the top, finds 2, holds down the entirety of A by himself against 2 pushing players from LU Esports. And I love that player number 3 and Doomy is not making this play over aggressively and making an overzealous push here towards A. Waits for his team to push up through middle map. Now they can push all the way through the south side, back through bricks, get the side of Waterloo Gold in the deep spawn back over towards the bottom left side of your map, and then push all the way back over towards the A site. I love exactly what they're doing right now. Again, it all comes down to winning those initial gunfights, though, and as they do win the first one, it is going to be traded out instantaneously. Shots come through for both of the players. They're going to have to play this very, very, very carefully here, especially if they don't want to get cut down. Player number 4 is going to be huge here to maybe make this pinch play, but will it be a little too late? Player number 2 and Kilganon won't win that first kill. 4 needs to wait for his teammates once again, and this is what happens. Every single time you make a play, you waste about 30 seconds of clock trying to just get onto A. Now they've got about 20 seconds left. They've got one more push at the A site, and it's already been shut down with Kilganon and Obito now getting cut down first.
And I mean, what you're trying to see them do here is they're really actually just trying to play lives at the moment, because Waterloo was down to a very small life count, but nobody really on the side of LU Esports has been able to get close to the hill in time to be able to touch it and stop the clock a little bit here. Obito finally going to hop on in. It's actually going to be Kilganon who's able to get on and stop the time again, but it's just defense is too strong. Waterloo just shut down that push time and time again, and LU Esports, they weren't really going for the objective. If you really watch what they're doing, yes, they're trying to clear out back towards this back cobblestone, but they were also just consistently trying to push into the base of Waterloo Gold, and it just wasn't working for them. Next time on offense, once you get those 4 down, why don't you just hop onto the A side, maybe get a tick or two, at least stop the clock for a little bit, because they didn't even attempt to stop the clock outside of that first push.
Did you see the team kill there at the very end of that round?
I did.
Oh my god, that has gotta hurt if you're this out of LU Esports. A round that you could have won. You made that last pinch play work out for yourselves. You got yourselves onto the point. You gave time to the players to push back through, but the team kill comes through and it basically shuts down all the pressure. It was a free kill for the side of Waterloo Gold and essentially gave them another round. We saw that happen in the Search and Destroy. Now in the Control, a much larger round I guess in terms of the overall complex of the game mode. You know, one round in S&D, you're like, okay, whatever. A round in Control goes a long way, especially when you're on the offensive side and about to win your first round, which could have been the difference breaker inside of it. However, Kilganon 2 now wrapping back, going to be able to find the first couple of kills, and now the spawn trap can start for the side of LU Esports. They're upset with the team kill. They're upset they couldn't win that first round on offense, but now on the defense, they're ready to stuff the side of Waterloo Gold back down the hole which they crawled up from. As Kilganon 2 is pushed up on a 3 spree, looking for another one. That's going to be number 4. Twix is going to be there, making that last little push over towards that bottom right side. However, they're all going to try to flood throughout the exact same time. This could be huge for the side of LU Esports, as they can just set up on these power positions, let a Krig maybe look some long-range shots. The 74U there as well. I'm loving the stuff from LU Esports here on the defensive side.
Yeah, right now this is like a team trying to push in from P2 to P3, or sorry, from P3 to P4 on hardpoint. Waterloo Gold has to push out through this dark vent room, but it's going to be Obito from behind. He's able to find one, finds the second as well. Able to destroy the trophy system, stop all the progress over towards B as well. It's only one player left in the middle of the map for Waterloo Gold, and that's going to be Bork. But, man, the life difference is so large. Once again, another 5-life lead going in the way of LU Esports here. And they've just been so good in this defensive round of just shutting down anything Waterloo Gold can do. Waterloo Gold can't even get out of their spawn, let alone to the 50-yard mark on the map. Finally, a couple of kills going to go down in their way in terms of kills.
Oh, my goodness.
And the trades, but it's only Twix. Twix was able to find gone through the bottom of the map, grabs onto the site, but he's going to have 3 players from the side of LU Esports here very shortly to jump on and contest. Time's going to run on out here, and that's going to be it. Round to LU Esports. Very, very dominant defense, and they have got to be up big in the lives now.
That's all I have to say. Obito. Right here. We'll see it again. Player number 4 on your mini-map was watching the flank, snaps, turns onto the second one, and then gets 2 more kills to end the round on a 4 spree. Saves the round essentially for the side of LU Esports. Doesn't allow anybody from the side of Waterloo Gold to push up. Lastly, it's Maz. Slides around the corner, but he slid around the corner directly into the line of fire of Obito. And that is not good. That is never good. Especially
never good.
They're into round on a 4 spree. Now going to the offensive side, trying to stay alive here, looking for streaks of his own to use here inside of the round, inside of the control to potentially end and close out the series in a 3-0. They'll be looking good if they can going in towards our second split here in Season 3 of the CCL, but they've got to win this control first if they want to get ahead, or rather get a hold of this 3-0 sweep. Over the top, Fico's there, Obito gets his 5th in a row. Now even closer to getting these streaks. Getting this capture zone will do justice and do wonders for the opportunity and advancement of getting these streaks as well. Kilgan in on your screen right now. Number 2, make it, gets the kill there onto Twix. Work around the corner, snaps, but can't find the shots. The 74U takes down the Krig at range there, and now it's going to be Maz who's just left alive laying down. Doomy's there. They've got 1 tick on A, now a couple at B. They've got progress. An extra minute added to the clock, and now they're flying back. Doomy has the door open for them. They can start flooding in. Doomy finds 3, almost able to make it 4. They find his trade. They get onto A. They've got 2 players stacking the point. Player number 4, Nobito, once again, playing the corner, playing for streaks. He's got the artillery barrage, looking for the cruise missile as well. He'll get it. They'll win the round. LU Esports, a quick offensive round. They didn't like that defense the last time. They loved that offense that time. Now, not only at match point, but series point as well. 1 round away from a 3-0 sweep.
They did what they didn't do in the first round, which was they pushed towards A off the rip after they got 4 down, and this is what can happen. I mean, barring a remarkable play here from Doom, he picks up 3 out of 4, and then has the help from his teammates to come over and be able to give him a hand. I mean, just wow, what an offensive win from LU Esports there. Finally being able to pick up a couple of kills and just really get it done. Obito, how are you saying it? Obito, he's got a couple of streaks here in his hand as well. Finally, on a 7 spree at the moment. We'll see if he tries to get any more here in terms of kills. Just trying to push up towards the middle of the map and get more aggressive than they were even last round on this Waterloo Gold team. Jumps up, finds the player at top caution, sees Maz as well, ducks down, gets away with his life here, and now he's just going to focus on trying to get some of these kills here in the offensive zone. Just kind of bouncing around back and forth. He's living so long here on an 8 spree continuing.
I mean, this is exactly what we say the definition of a rat is. He's got 2 streaks. He's on an 8 spree here instead of the round. Now he's just playing for the players inside of the spawn over towards Waterloo Gold's side back in the map. Finally find his demise off of an ego chow that doesn't go his way, but now they made their way over towards A. Now a 1 versus 2 over here. It's going to be Maz trying to find the shots there on the Doomy. Now able to find it. No! Ring around the rosy they go. Oh, I don't know if I like that play, though. Maz was trying to find that kill, but exposed himself to the rest of the LU Esports team, who was playing over towards bottom cobble and around over towards the left ramp side. Those Krigs have such an easy line of sight onto the player and towards the point. You've got to keep yourself concealed, at least somebody, or at least someone instead of this game. I mean, oh, that's unfortunate. That's at least a capture that could have potentially gone their way. They don't even get a tick over towards A now.
No tick over towards A. Unfortunate for them as the side of LU Esports was able to shut that down just in the nick of time. And now with only 25 seconds left, streaks raining on in. Waterloo Gold is going to have to try to push on towards the site, see if he can bend it in. Not able to do it. He would have found 2 with that missile, but not going to be the case. But it slows down that push quite significantly. 14 seconds only left for Waterloo Gold now to stop the sweep from coming on in, but I think it might just be too little too late. Maz is going to hop onto this A site. He was able to sneak on through. This might be able to push it and open up enough time for the side of Waterloo to get on towards the B site, but all the kills are coming in favor of LU Esports. Trades come through. That's going to do it there. Waterloo Gold, we'll see you in split number 2.
23-7 there from K2 inside of the control. We talked about Obito making the plays, staying on the streak. How about just an all-around good game from K2 there? As not only he's able to go ahead and find a majority of the kills inside of the game between both of these 2 teams, he was able to be the deciding factor, getting 2 and 3 pieces every single time he will fly before. Not any live, being the surplus that the team needed. His plus or minus for that series, I have to imagine, has to be through the roof. But K2, LU Esports, Obito, all the entirety of that roster are walking away happy from this match. They beat the team that is, I guess, the most closely contested with them record-wise and playstyle-wise inside of Division A of the metropolitan area. However, with a 3-0 win, LU Esports not only are going to be able to improve over towards Split 2 and lock themselves in securely, they're going to improve to 8-2, while the side of Waterloo Gold will now dive down to 6-4. They'll both stay 4th and 5th inside of Division, or rather Division A of the metropolitan area. However, this was a battle for 4th place, and LU Esports now are at the top of the food chain in that regard. So, walking away from this, what are you kind of feeling after this series? What do you see the side of LU Esports kind of continuing to do, or maybe even flourishing with as we get further into Split 2, or rather get to the start of Split 2?
Well, I've been blessed with the chance to see LU Esports play twice. The first time I seen them play, it was against Sheridan. They didn't look the best in that series. I'm glad to see them come out here, play a team like Waterloo Gold, who is definitely a very capable team, as we've seen in the series, it was very close, and LU Esports was able to just clutch up all 3 maps. This is a very close 3-0 to anybody who's watching this. Honestly, if I'm anything from LU Esports, I'm taking away from this. I'm taking away the fact that we got this clutch factor. We're gonna go into our next series. We just need to be able to continue doing what we're doing. Keep playing. Kilganon too. They've been on fire, as you guys could see in this hard point. Obito doing his job as well. If you're LU Esports, just keep it up. Keep doing what you're doing, and just try to rock out this hot streak.
You said it, ride the hot streak into Split 2. That's all you can really hope for. Remember, folks, the top 4 teams from Division A of Split 2 are going to have themselves locked into the 64-team playoffs. It's going to be a 12 to 16 team. I can't remember which one of the two for that relegation period, when it is going to be the regional qualifier for the other teams. If you're not the top 4 inside of Split A, and you're not the bottom 4 teams inside of Split B and Split 2, then you're going to be fighting in a, I believe, 16-team tournament in order for supremacy to get into the final 4 spots from your region. Each region is sending in 8 teams towards that 64-team playoffs. $25,000 is on the line. That's going to be April 16th, 17th, and 18th. Playoffs are going to be heating up here, but as split number 1 dies down, week number 6 draws to an end. The Alpha stream here, that's our final match for the night. I think Bravo might still be having going on here on their stream side as well. So if you want to hop over there and watch those matches, you can go ahead and keep up with everything CCL there over by College COD Bravo. Of course, if you want to follow too at College COD on Twitter. Folks, that's going to do it for us here on the Alpha stream, though. Thank you so much for coming along by and staying with us here tonight. LU Esports a 3-0, Concord Maroon a 3-0 earlier on today versus LVC Esports. The E4 Knights 3-0 the side of UTK White, and that wraps up your Alpha stream schedule from today. Folks, my name is Ben McCormiel. Alongside myself has been Cruz and Spaz. Stay safe. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week for week number 7 and the beginning of split number 2.